The Alliance for School Choice was created in 2004 because we believe that education can be fixed through educational choice, particularly when you think about the low-income families that are trapped in failing schools. We feel it's really important to give them quality options. And honestly, if you also think about it, no school bureaucracy has ever been reformed from within. They are only reformed through external pressure. And we believe, and now we know, that the best form of external pressure is through educational choice. Our mission is simple. We want to make sure that each and every American child has equal access to a high quality education. Now, how we get there, we feel, is through educational choice, especially when you think about the fact that so many low income kids from disadvantaged communities and families don't have access to quality education, and the school system doesn't work for them. So we work hard and we work smart. We pick the right states where we know the ingredients make sense, where the leadership is open to school choice, where the laws are in place or could be put in place to take care of kids. So we really think this through state by state. Some states aren't ready for school choice, but what we do is we know the climate that we're going to work in, and we know the availability of these slots, and we make sure they're made available for kids in need. At the Alliance for School Choice, we pride ourselves on working holistically. We understand the whole continuum of what it takes to get a good law passed, to make sure that there are quality schools in place that will be able to benefit from the law, and the biggest benefit comes from the children and families who avail themselves of the opportunity. And through our 501c3 nonprofit, we're able to engage and educate community leaders on the benefit of school choice. Often in many of these sessions, we bring in people who have experienced school choice in other places, and magic happens. We organically grow community leaders who become bigger advocates than many of us are in wanting to have school choice in their community. We realized a long time ago that the biggest problem with education reform in America is that the kids are last in line. They're the ones that people don't pay attention to. So our primary objective is to make sure that we provide immediate relief for kids today. So we provide these scholarships for kids. We're not concerned about fixing the bureaucracy. We're not concerned about adult compensation. We're not concerned about rule changes. We're concerned about one thing. How can we get as many kids as possible in a good school today? That's why we're effective. We have a concrete way of measuring our success. First, we have to make sure that there's a quality school choice bill in place in the state in which we're working. And for that to happen, we have to elect the right people, and then we have to help them design the right law that will maximize the ability to have low-income kids go to quality private schools. We have had real success in engaging the community once a bill is passed so that they can avail themselves of the opportunity. That's where our nonprofit work comes into place, where we're able to engage citizens, make sure they know about the opportunity, and have them sign up for these programs. Think about it. Right now in Florida, we've got 75,000 kids going to private school choice programs, something that we were able to make happen because of our involvement in that state. In Indiana and Louisiana, between the two of them, nearly 1 million eligible private school slots are there for these children. No, we don't have as many private schools as we need to in those states, but the mere fact that we now have that many available slots shows we're making a difference. There's a big misconception out there about educational choice, and that is many people believe it's a partisan issue. But if there's any American issue that is nonpartisan, it should be the education of our children. The great thing about educational choice, the great thing about the work that we do, the work that I do every day, is that I realize that there's no Republican or Democratic way to teach a kid how to read, write, count, or compete. There's no liberal or conservative way to do those things. There's only the right way to do that by getting kids in quality schools in front of quality teachers. That's what we pride ourselves on in the Alliance for School Choice. We're very proud of the fact that through our efforts in both Indiana and Louisiana, we have nearly 1 million private school slots available for kids in need. The challenge now is filling those slots. We've been a catalyst for major change in those states, but now we need to make sure that there are private school operators in place who can provide classrooms and teachers to take care of those kids' needs. So we're working with the governors in both Indiana and Louisiana to recruit private school operators to come to those states to take care of the needs of those children. We also are proud of the fact that in Ohio and Florida, states that have had robust school choice programs in place for years, states in which we worked aggressively to get those bills passed, that there's been a constant effort from folks who support the status quo to shut both of those programs down. And guess what? Not only have we defended those programs, stopped those efforts, we've actually grown the number of kids being served in both of those states. In working to advocate for school choice, we often get a lot of questions about public money going to private schools. Some people question whether it's constitutional. Well, the Supreme Court has ruled that it is constitutional. The other question we get asked is whether or not these programs are accountable and whether or not the public knows this money is being used the right way. Well, we support accountable programs, and we want to make sure that when kids go to these private schools, that their test scores are reported, that all of these schools are in compliance with federal and state laws, and that's the way we operate in all of our states. With additional resources, we could help more kids. We're proud of the fact that we have 250,000 kids in private schools that are receiving the education they deserve. With more money, we could target more states and put more kids in quality schools. The other thing we could do is grow our implementation work in these existing states so that we could have new school choice advocates from within the community who can fight for programs that they're entitled to receive. We know that going forward, we really need to engage the private school operator community so that we can get more quality private schools in many of these states to help kids tomorrow. That's something we're going to be working to do.